with the Gston administration, you have to keep an eye on them. So tonight, I go keep an eye on them. You got watching close. I am here to tell you tonight that you can't allow them to do as they feel like. You are responsible for them, not the other way around. Okay? So as a matter of fact, we are going to look at some figures tonight. Since transparency, as they love to say, transparency, this government, they would not allow the IMF to publish the Article 4 report. That will tell us how the country really run. But I don't really need that, because we live here. And we know what we are going through. We know what we are suffering. We know what we are feeling and what we are not feeling. So them can fool you all they want with this amount of percentage, this and that, and GDP, blah, 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 nonsense. And you know you can't pay bills. You can't eat 3 square meals. Because no money there. They think I'll chup it. Right, there you go. Look, we're not going to allow them to tell us anything, yeah? We are going to follow it ourselves. So let me put on some figures to you right now. And feel free to make notes. Make notes, and when you go home, get your kang later and calculate it. Get your pen and your paper ready. As far as we can record, the Gston administration so far, they went and they borrowed $175 million. Yes, from ACB, they say, to fix internet and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Then they went and they borrowed $100 million from the Exim Bank. They claim for port development. From the Caribbean Development Bank, they went and they borrowed $48 million, supposedly to do roads. Then they went back to the same Caribbean Development Bank, and they borrowed $130 million, supposedly to save Abbott. They went back to the CDB again. May I go too fast? Make your notes. Me have time. $20 million, they say, they borrow again from the CDB. This time, it was to do secondary school. Then they went back again and borrowed $66 million again to the road. And they drive in Antigua every day. Where the road day? Where the money day? They went back to CDB again one more time. And they borrowed $25 million. Let me give the breakdown. $2 million, they say, was for UWE. $1 million for national housing. $10 million for social security. $12 million left back and nobody know where that gone. $12 million left back and nobody know where that gone. Pay attention. They went and they borrowed $40 million from Venezuela, supposedly for Liat. Wagwan with Liat. Oh. They went and they did a consolidation loan from Antigua Commercial Bank. So now do the subtotal and then add another $32 million that they borrowed in secret from PLH, supposedly to complete the airport in Barbuda. Gston Brown, Lennox Weston, Max Hurst, all of them, they ran the UPP out of office for borrowing $100 million from the IMF. You remember that? $100 million from the IMF. And they ran the UPP out of office. But when the UPP borrowed that money, what was going on? They borrowed it during the worst financial crisis in my lifetime, and me not young. Yeah? You saw what they did with it. They kept civil servants employed. They paid local vendors. They showed up Social Security. Now, according to my records, the alternate said that in 3 years, this Brown administration done borrow 3 times as much. And nobody did unto them. They ran you out of office for 100 million. So far, Gaston Brown done borrow $1 billion with a B. Wickedness. Wickedness. Can you believe it? $1 billion. Hey, the clock, man, the clock work too fast, you know. So, that money wasn't spent on the roof at Mount St. John's. You saw the video. That money wasn't spent on the hospital at Nugent Avenue. That money wasn't spent to refurbish the Bowlands, Johnson Point, and Pierce Village Clinic. It wasn't to pay outstanding back pay. You see the people, I'm going to pick it up to today. The COVID allowance, you don't see none of that. Pensioners can't get paid. The nurses at fines and so them are crying for their money. So where all that money go? It certainly was not spent on technology or science program in the Ministry of Education. I don't know how they spend the money there. It was not to bring relief to the people of Antigua and Barbuda. Well, you say so, not me. For sure, it was not spent to pay the overdue, the money that was owed to the United Nations. And all those students who are overseas in school that get locked out because the government not pay them bills. And on the heart of that, this financial wizard, this genius, have the nerve to come and tell the people of Antigua, he going back to borrow another $500 million. Eh? For do what? Where that money gone? Where that money gone? Well, let me tell you people, you have a choice to make on election day.